This is Steve Morris with this presentation on entrepreneurs make a lot of assumptions. Unfortunately, some of them are most likely not right. If you have an idea for a new business and you think you can actually build that business successfully, then you're automatically making a lot of assumptions. On the customer side, you're assuming that you understand a need, a compelling need that customers have, and you think you even understand the priority of those various needs. You believe your solution will actually address those needs. You think customers will pay a certain price for that, and you think you understand how customers want to find out about these products, what messaging will work, and how they actually want to buy. On the cost side of the equation, you think you understand cost structures like what partners you'll have to work with and how much that will cost. Of course, you think they'll want to work with you. You think you'll understand key activities required, the key resources that you'll require, and in general, you believe or you assume that you can profitably deliver a solution. That is a lot of assumptions, and frankly, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The challenge is that almost certainly some of these assumptions are simply not true. And typically what happens if an entrepreneur doesn't test assumptions before building the business, before building the product, they usually build the wrong product or the wrong service. So what do? Well, it's a good idea to actually test your idea before you go to build it. And that means recording what you believe, but recording it in the form of testable hypotheses, and then getting out and actually testing those hypotheses, again, before you create the product or service. Now, how do you record hypotheses? Well, that's where a one-page business plan canvas is a very useful tool. How do you test those? You get out of the building and actually go talk to people. Now, which hypotheses you're testing determines who you go talk to. You'll certainly be testing your hypotheses on the customer side. To do that, you really want to interview customers. And yes, interview, not a survey on the internet, not doing telephone calls, but actually face-to-face interviews. Why? Because you really want to watch body language. You're really trying to understand how the customer thinks about this need and how they think about your solution. You really want to be there to do a probing interview to get all the nuance from the customer. Now, on the other hand, you've got the more cost side considerations, partners, activities, resources, and so forth. To test those, you'll talk to other people. You want to go talk to the partners to find out if they really will be motivated to work with you and what that will cost. You can talk to experts who have experience in those markets or other entrepreneurs who've built a business in a similar market who can share a lot of information about what the cost structures look like. Again, it comes down to getting out of the building, going out and talking to the right people that can help you validate your model. Now, it's not as easy as it sounds because, unfortunately, what people say is not always what they do, especially on the customer side. Sometimes you'll hear very positive comments from people who actually would never buy from you. We'll talk about that a little more in later videos. But for now, the focus should be to get those assumptions written down as testable hypotheses, get out of the building, and go test those hypotheses before you build the product or service. If you do that, you'll have a much better chance that you'll build the right product or service, and a much better chance that customers will buy it and that you'll actually make a profit.